Now, many traders have come and asked me, what is the difference between a break of structure and a change of character? Now, that's exactly what we're going to go through in today's video. So if you want to learn more on that subject, make sure you watch this video to the end. Now, first, let's go through what the break of structure is. Now, the break of structure is simply going to be when we see the market making a trending situation, and the break of structure will be in the direction of that trend. So this is going to be our era of structure in the market, and when we see a break of that structure, that's the trend continuation. Now, when we're looking at a change of character, the change of character will be in two different ways. Either for the major trend, and we're looking for a change of character to break and basically just be a trend reversal. And then you'll be looking for the market to show you that it's changed its character with a continuation with another break of structure in the direction of the new trend. Now, many of you believe that it's the same thing, but it's not. It is a completely different technique. So let me go through in this chart and explain on the charts exactly how you'll be looking for a break of structure and then where you'll be looking for that change of character. In fact, I'll go through to BTC and bits later in this video and go through how you can look at a trade using this concept. So we're on just DXY. This is a chart I like to look at to make any of my trading decisions based on anything across that US dollar. Now, when we're looking at the market here, you can simply identify we've been in this long-term uptrend. And the break of structure starts at this level here in the market, where we see the break of structure here to the upside. We then have a pullback to retest that area. We have another break of structure. Again, we see another structure made. We have another breakout right here after a pullback. And again, the market breaks up once again. And that is simply what the break of structure is showing you. Every time we see the market pulling back on that trend, we see another break of structure. So if we continue to see a break of structure, then you continue to looking for those buys. Even here, we can see this wick on this candle is classed as a break of structure. Now, many traders will prefer to see a solid close of that break of structure, but you don't have to have it. Because if we're looking at a lower time frame here, you're most likely going to see a close through this level on a lower time frame. Now, the actual reversal in the trend is not going to occur on this one until we see the market breaking down, breaking this low in the market. That's why I've marked this out so you can see exactly where that trend reversal would be. So we're on the weekly time frame. If we are to see right here, price decides to turn down and it breaks the trend line, breaks this structure low, that would be classed as a change in character. It's the trend reversal. Now, later at the end of this video, there is a great video coming up next, which goes through what I call that trend collapse strategy. So I do suggest watch that video because that's going to be based on this type of entry, understanding a single time frame when we see that change of character with the trend collapse strategy. So that is how you can identify this with the trend using the break of structure, and then you're looking for that change of character. Now, remember the difference is we're looking for the market to go with that trend when we're looking for the break of structure each time. You're looking for the market to come back to an area of either imbalance, or we're looking for the market to come back to an area of demand on this occasion for your entry. Now, all of this you can learn even more if you go through and look at the free course, which the link for that is below in the description of this video, where you can check out the basics of the supply and demand course. Now, when we do see this area here holding in the market, why is it bounced? Well, we have a third test of the trend line. Now, I use my trend lines in a different way, and you will learn this later in the next video in that trend collapse strategy. We do break structure here, but look, price has never come all the way back to this area of structure. So if you're a support and resistance trader right now, you'll be looking for the market to come all the way back here to retest that broken resistance for any buy trades. Now, by the time you've done this, you can see the trend line would have been broken. So why did we see a reaction here? Well, the simple reason we see a reaction is based off this area here, which is an area of imbalance. Now, if you do want to learn more about the imbalances and how you'll trade those, where these are basically hidden blocks of orders, then I do suggest checking out the Forex Masterclass course. Now, the link for all the courses, including that free course, is all in the description of this video today. But that's why we see a bounce head to the upside, breaking that structure. So this, to me, is a valid break of structure, whether it's a close or it's a spike, but it must be, and this is important. Let me just grab an arrow. It must be, this candle must be a bullish candle. I don't want to see a bearish candle here. If we had a bearish candle here, then I would be expecting price to fall straight away. Now at the moment we've had the inside candle, this bearish candle, so we could see a nice push higher today, closing through, continue to break this structure with a nice solid close candle. If we don't see that and we see a bearish candle closing through, we have an area here of imbalance I've drawn. If that is closed through, then I'm most likely going to see the market breaking this structure where we see that change of character on this higher time frame. Remember, the change of character can be applied to the higher time frame, or we can use it as a confirmation entry or the change of character with a lower time frame. So to demonstrate that, let me just now go over to BTC. So now we're on BTC. Let's go through understanding the two differences once again with that break of structure and the change of character. So we look at the chart here to the left. We have a previous swing low. We have a break here to the upside. Forget all this price action here. We're just going to start from here. We have a pullback and then we have another break of structure. And if we go actually closer into the chart here, we also have a small pullback, break of structure right here in the market. See, valid break of structure, and then there's your change of character to the downside. Now, there's a lot more going on here, but that is for another day. Now, once we see this breakdown, where's your next break of structure? That is going to be your next first break of structure. We pull back, make that basing, and then we drop through to break that low. This creates this area of supply where we can see the market pulls back in for a perfect trade. So once you can see this on the chart, it's going to help you to start finding these types of trades. Now there's more here where we have some liquidity and we have the market pushing up into areas of imbalance, but that is more what I teach inside that Forex Masterclass course. Now remember, everything you want to learn is inside this YouTube channel, but if you want to take it to the next level, then the courses may help you further, and you can find out on any of those courses, whether it's the free online workshop courses, the advanced supply and demand course, or this Forex Masterclass course. All the links are below in the description of this video. Now, what happens is we continue to break structure. So we continue to break structure to the downside, and that would give you more areas of supply. So you can see the market continues to break more areas of supply. Again, we have another pullback, lower high, break of structure. Now, I haven't drawn an area of supply, but I have drawn an area of imbalance. And this is more I go through in that Forex Masterclass, how I use those imbalances, not only for actual entries, but targets as well. Now that is more what I call an imbalance level. So we can see the market is now in this area here to downside. So we are bearish. We're really looking for sell trades, but a good area for sell here on this time frame, but we pull back to this area of broken structure and this area of imbalance. Now, of course, a change of character here. Where would the change of character occur? This is your last swing high, pull back here, that's your change of character. If we then had a pullback, lower high, this is our first break of structure. So there are the two differences once again. So you can see the difference. Now again, like I said at the end of this video, so keep watching. Then you can watch that trend collapse strategy video, which goes through the trend lines and understanding this change of character in more detail. So let's have a look at this area now on a lower time frame. Let's go to a 4-hour time frame, and I'll quickly show you a trade you could have caught. Now, personally, I missed this trade, but it's a great opportunity to share with you how you can use that change of character. So we have this drop to downside here in the market. This creates an area of supply. We have now broken out this trend line. For me, I use areas of trend lines. I'm looking for potential areas to take trades. So we now have an area here of demand and imbalance. I'm looking to take a trade off if I see the reversal on the lower time frame. We also create an area of liquidity here. More on that perhaps in another video. And we create a small area of liquidity here in the market, and we take this previous high. Now, looking closely at the candlesticks is a great way to understand which way the market's going to go. What do we have once the market took out these highs? We have a nice bearish engulfing candlesticks. That's all about the manipulations in the market. It's not just a manipulation of these highs. There's another reason why the market reversed here, and that's not about the supply either. So for a change of character, we'll be looking for this low to be broken. So we break out here. At the same time, that's your first break of structure. So on this occasion, we're seeing on this time frame the break of structure and a change of character at the same time. That makes this area of supply. So this is your area of supply in the market. We're looking for a trade. It comes back, it tests that supply zone to the pip. And that would have been a great certificate strategy entry. And you could have taken the trade down to take out these previous lows. You could have the first target these lows, second target down here. Now we're expecting the market to take lows because it's an area of liquidity in the market where it needs to go to pick up more orders before it can pull back to the upside. So that is how you can look at using the breakup structure compared to the change of character. Now right here on the lower time frame, we'll quickly just have a look at the 1 hour as well. You'll see on the 1 hour time frame, we had the same situation. But this time we had this low here as your change of character. This creates this area of supply and the market comes back in and retests it on this area for an entry. Or if you missed that, we have another manipulation for an entry here, which would be a great time to take a trade. So that is how you can look at applying the use of the breakup structure or the use of the change of character. And they are totally two different things. Again, let me just go back to a weekly time frame. We will do a sketch once again so you can see the differences. This is your trend direction. And every time the market does this, what's it doing? We're seeing that breakup structure each and every time. Okay, now the change of character would have to break this previous low for the change of character to then look for our entry to sell. Now, much more of this goes through in much more detail in the first part of the masterclass course. So if you struggle with your breakup structure, understanding fractals in the market, understanding how to read those swings, that section will help you massively in your trading. So do suggest checking that out today. Now, if this video has helped you today, it's given you some value to understand, and I mean some value to understand the breakup structure and the change of character and what the differences are between the two and how you can use it in your trading. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up because it helps me to know you're enjoying this content. And popping up right now is that next video that I suggested at the beginning of this video to go and watch, which is that trend collapse strategy. It's a great way to make profits in the market from today, understanding how to apply the use of those trend lines and that change of character.